Hello and welcome to this program once again. Thank you for tuning in. We thank you for the updates and your views for our last previous video, and we are really encouraged. Today, we are going to talk about how men and women behave under stress, how different they are under stress. So today we'll be focused on this topic, and I hope that more and more information is given for your benefit. How often have you heard uh, men totally coming up from uh, their job and they are turning on the TV and they are isolated, and women feel totally not being heard? When men become exceedingly stressful, they isolate themselves. So they withdraw themselves. Whereas women, when they are extremely stressful, they get overwhelmed and they get emotional. Very simple example is that husband comes home from the work and he's all stressed out, and he want to focus on one particular problem, and he want to forget all the problems. He wants to release all his stress out. So what he does is he uh, turns on a TV, watch some match or something. At the same time, and a woman is also stressful, and because she's stressful and she wants to uh, express, share her feelings, what happens is he feels totally uh, annoyed or doesn't give a listening ear to her. At this time, what happens is the husband feels, oh, she talks too much, she's she's talking too much. So woman feels, I'm trying to express something, he doesn't listen to me. I'm so Am I so unimportant to him? I'm trying to say certain things, he doesn't care. This is the common household problem everywhere. So I'm pretty sure that each and every man and woman would have, husband and wife would have felt the same thing. So let's dive deep into this, like how actually the things are with men and how things are with women. So man actually uh, goes isolation or gets into the shell to feel better, whereas woman actually goes into shell, not shell, to express herself out to feel better. We have Rachel also with me today. So I wanted to ask Rachel that what does it what does it take for a man to feel better when he goes into shell?
Hmm.
So what is there in the shell? Why does he go to shell in the first place? What is
Hmm.
actually happening to him?
Shell, when we say shell, it's a place where he unwinds.
Yeah.
We have seen it in the last session also that he's solution oriented, and he likes to solve his problem on his own. So when he asks another man, he's opening up doors for another man to suggest him things, and he feels insulted if somebody gives him unsolicited advice. He feels like he's not capable enough to solve his problem on his own. So that's the reason why men try to go to their shell. That is the place where they think about the problem, come out, find possible solutions for their problem. Everything happens in that quietness. That's the reason women have a complaint that they never express, unlike women. Um, the thing is, there are two ways he deals with stress. One is either he wants to get out of that stressed feeling. For example, if he has had a very stressful day, uh, then he wants to just stop thinking about it, because he's constantly into the process of how to find a solution for it, how to come up with a solution for this. So he's constantly thinking this in his mind. He wants to go to that, we call it like that, switch off mode. He doesn't want to think about that day's stress anymore. So one way of doing it is um, watch phone, watch TV, watch sports that he likes, watch news, know something else, anything that will divert him from that stressful day. The second thing is sometimes while he is doing that, he is actually thinking. So women will find it very puzzled when you are about to go for a trip. You have a pile of things to do. You need to pack. You need to put that. You need to do this. You need to do that. And and the man will be maybe sitting in one corner with his phone scrolling, scrolling, scrolling. So she feels like, how come he looks stressed? He doesn't look stressed at all in any way. He has all the time in the world to go through the phone or watch. Basically, that happens because he's thinking of something else, and this is just a distraction for him. So there are two ways that he deals with it. One is he wants to get out of it, another he's trying to find a solution for it. In either cases, he doesn't talk. uh, it is not his behavior, you can say. It is not in his uh, um, he's not wired that way. He's not made that way to express. He rather finds it like, this is my problem, let me solve, or let me come out from a solution. If he wants to get out of it, let me come out with a solution to get out of it. So uh, the way he deals with stress is he has this priority of working on his problems. He will either address to the most important one or to the most urgent one, that he prioritizes and then focuses on that one task at a time. And during this process of him dealing with stress, what happens is he is like we saw, when a man is stressed, he's highly focused and isolated. Both happens together. So when he's highly focused, he is not able to give his attention to anything else. He's unable to give attention to anything else. So if he is at home and his mind is running towards something else, that is when women find that he is not here. He's thinking something, he's worried about something, and he's not speaking. He's like this lost in his thoughts, we say. That is because he's highly focused on that specific task, and he just wants, he goes into that shell and thinks about it. So when he is stressed because he's thinking of it, he's unable to give his attention to his wife, who needs to be heard. So two of the things: either he wants to get out of it and feel de-stressed, is what he wants, a distraction. Now what happens is he either watches things like a sport or a news, or what is happening in another country or anything like that. uh, that is a small problem that he would love to address to, which he is not directly how should we say, directly responsible for it. So whether they win or lose, he is not responsible for it. But he feels good that he was able to direct in his mind as to how they should have played the game to have won it, or how they would have played the game to score more. Little ways of how he feels de-stressed by finding solutions in those little things. Or if two countries are having war, or if he listens about a war about two countries, or statuses about two countries, he feels like, okay, this, they should have done this, or they should have done this. So those finding solutions for those little problems, what he watches, he feels he's able to find solution for those problems, which is he is not directly responsible to. Now, women may ask as to why can't they listen to our problems? The thing is, he doesn't want to be directly involved here. So anything that is not, he's not directly involved, he's happy to give solutions to it. As far as it is small things where he's not directly involved, like watching these things, what examples we gave. And if he's not able to find a solution for it, he wants to then run away from it. Or I wouldn't say run away from it. He wants to just get out of that stress that he can't find a solution for. So they say IPL matches are a blessing for men, because it helps them greatly to de-stress, to watch them, to watch their the team that they support perform, and by cheering for them and giving in their mind uh, ideas on how they should win a match or how they should score, they feel good. And the more they score points, or the more they do well, the more happy he feels and the more de-stresses he feels. Yeah, that is how um, men will cope up with stress, that shell mode. How do you think women deal with stress? Or how should I put this? Um, why is it important for women to talk about their problems? Why can't they just solve like men do? Quiet, find out a solution for yourself. Why should she has to talk everything out? Why should she talk her mind out to feel better?
As we touched on the previous session, that women is basically feelings oriented.
Mm,
She is not goal oriented.
mm,
For her, relationship comes first.
mm,
So she's rather very much expressive.
mm,
So what happens is when she's stressed out, uh, she she's not actually trying to find out the solution
mm,
for the problems. She's overwhelmed. When she's overwhelmed, she's in touch with her feelings, emotions. Then emotions run wild,
mm,
and she has the need to speak things out. When speaking things out, what happens is there is no priority set. As with men, as you mentioned,
mm,
when he's talking about the problems, first he says he wants as much less problems that he can have.
mm,
So what is he, either he wants to, as you mentioned, that he wants to find a solution. If he's not able to find a solution, he wants to forget it.
mm,
um then again, woman is, she's not like that. She's not there to find solutions, so her emotions are running wild. So there is no priority set. Okay,
mm,
this is the problem that I'm going to resolve first. She's not thinking that way. So all the problems that she has is equally important,
mm,
however small big it is.
mm,
So those problems are important for her.
mm,
So she wants to express,
mm,
and there is no it's difficult for a man to understand that uh, that she has to express things out.
mm,
And when she's talking about the problems, you wonder, many men think that, whoa, that problem was resolved before, why is it coming back again? She's
mm,
talking about the past problem,
mm,
she'll be talking about the present problem,
mm.
she'll be talking about the future problem,
Possible future problem.
possible future problem. She'll also talking about the problems that there is no solution at all.
Mm,
So what happens is, by talking, she is able to address all the problems that she could.
mm,
And the more upset she is, everything around her becomes a problem.
mm,
Even certain things a man does can also become a problem.
mm,
So what happens is, uh, she, while expressing things out, she becomes relieved, stress free.
mm,
And that is where she finds relief in expressing.
mm,
So when she's expressing, what happens is she's getting in touch, or getting the greater awareness of what is actually bothering her.
mm,
First of all, she like throws every possible problem that she has,
mm,
and after that, what happens is she starts realizing, okay, this is what actually is bothering me.
mm,
So then what happens is she starts talking about the problems of others,
mm,
problems of the relatives, whatever case it might be. She wants to talk about it. So it's important for a woman to talk, because it's how she's wired.
mm.
Asking women not to talk about the problems is denying her womanhood.
Mm.
She's
Yeah.
wired that way.
Mm.
Why she finds relief? She finds relief because she's wired that way.
Mm.
She
Mm.
needs to talk.
Mm.
She, she has to get in touch with her emotions.
Mm.
So she gets overwhelmed and she talks about the problems. She gets relieved.
Hmm.
Most of the time, because she's not finding this, she's not into finding the solutions.
Hmm.
She's more into, you know, what she's trying to do is,
Hmm.
uh, just to talk about the problems, and she wants to get the feeling of being heard and being loved,
Hmm.
uh, through talking. That is what it happens,
Hmm.
and that is why she talks on those problems.
Hmm. Okay.
To understand, when woman
Hmm.
is actually expressing her time,
Hmm.
expressing her feelings,
Hmm.
how do men feel? What happens at the men's world?
How they might possibly react.
Yeah, how they possibly might react.
React to women expressing.
Yeah.
Usually, the complaint that women have from their husbands is, when I'm talking, he doesn't listen. The reason why she feels he doesn't listen is because he resists when she's talking. There are reasons for it. For for him, like we have spoken before, we have understood before, man is solution oriented. So between two men, when one man is talking to another man about his problems, this man is actually opening up doors for the other man to suggest him or advise him. So he is voluntarily asking the other man to advise. That's the only time he will ask for help. Otherwise, he's not wired to ask for help. So we have seen these examples before. He won't even ask for directions, even if he's lost. So uh, when a woman starts expressing, he feels she now needs advice from me. So rather than listening to her, he starts advising. He might cut her short halfway and then start advising, you should do this, you should do that. That's not how it's supposed to be. You're not supposed to be so mad at that thing. What was the big deal about it? Things like this, gestures like this. So what happens is, the more the woman talks, sometimes the more he resents, for two reasons. One is, this is how men will presume. If she is not that much upset about her problem, then he assumes that she is now opening up for me to suggest her, give her solutions, if she's less upset about her problem. If she's more upset about her problem, then he feels, or he assumes, that she is blaming me for it. For example, if she says, I got really, I'm tired, I'm feeling really exhausted today, so he might say, you should take rest. That, because he feels like she's not that worried about, she's less stressed. If she feels like, I went through this, I had this day, and this was happening, and that happened, and this happened, so he starts looking at it as, now she's blaming me for it. For example, I was coming from my office, and I got on in the wrong stop, or the bus stopped and I didn't get a ticket, or uh, the tire went flat and I had to get down and catch another bus, and then I came to this close to my house, and then I had to catch an auto and then come home. She is actually stressed out that she had to go through all this in her day. But a man will listen to it as, you were supposed to be there to pick me up. What were you doing? That is how he will listen and take it as. So the more he feels that she is uh, very more worried, he will tend to go in a defensive mode. So it is natural for him, because if he's not able to give solutions, he will feel like he's being blamed for it. The moment he feels blamed for it, he feels like, I've not done anything wrong for me to be blamed. So he puts on that shield of protection and he defends himself, not understanding that there was no need for him to do defending himself. So he will try to either justify, or he'll try to put her down and say that you are not supposed to do this on the first place. So the argument builds on it. Men usually talk about their problem for two reasons. One, either they are blaming somebody, Second, they want advice. These are the only two times when uh, men will talk about their problem. So when woman comes with a problem, he will be very glad. He feels like, because he loves her, he feels like, oh, so she's come to me for advice, so let me gladly help her. Now there is there is there are times when he will feel slightly taken aback, or he will resist listening to her when she is going on about her problems. It's like, not like, okay, this was my problem and that's the end of it. No, this one problem connects to another problem, like you were saying, it connects to another problem. So what happens is, now he feels like, I need to find solution for so many problems. So he will cut short in between before she can let it out completely. So it there are times when men feel very frustrated. That is uh, when a woman goes on details, because she explains, when she goes on details, it frustrates him, because now the more details she says, the more he has to now find out solutions for all those details. So uh, that is one of the reasons what frustrates him, and so he resists listening to her. He doesn't want to listen to her because he doesn't want to find solution for all those little problems that now she has. um, she might say, or she might he it frustrates him when he's not able to give a solution for some of her problems. For example, she might say, it's been raining, and it's been raining continuously, and the clothes are not able to dry. My relative is sick, she sicker and sicker, and I'm not able to do anything about it. Or she might say, I'm not being paid enough for the work I'm doing in the office. Or anything like that, for which he cannot give a solution. He feels frustrated because she's telling about things for which I cannot give a solution. Why is she telling these things to me then, if I cannot offer a solution? So he feels like, so if I cannot give a solution, so you're holding me responsible for it. So he might either take it that way. Now, in the above situations, she knows that there is no solution for it, but she feels better by talking about it. Now, there are other reasons as to why men feel frustrated and they resist women when they talk. When they are in the talking mode, they resist or they cut short. That is, uh, they become impatient halfway when she is going from one topic to another, then from that topic to another topic to another topic. And he feels like there is no connection between these topics. So she was talking about kids, all of a sudden she's talking about her work, and then from in that work she connected to a colleague of hers who was working there. So for him, he needs to he doesn't have the patience enough to listen to the entire story, because these are not connected. He feels like these things are not connected. Where is she hitting? Come to the bottom. What is the bottom line of all this? What are you trying to say? Summarize things. Why are you being elaborate? So it frustrates him. He doesn't want to know any more details. So women find that he was interested for the first few minutes, and then he's now not interested at all. So that happens. He feels like, I can't find a solution for it, because she's not picking up one topic. She's going from everywhere to everywhere, like you were saying. Big, small, present, past, future. She just needs to lend it out.
Yeah.
And it doesn't make sense whether she has to be in order, systematic, go from this order to that order only, or stick to only this topic. She's not wired that way to go about in that detail as men are. Men pick things up in an order and address it one at a time. They address. So when she goes about hitting different topics all of a sudden, when she's expressing, he finds it very confusing and frustrating as to, now which one should I address now? So she doesn't want to listen anymore. Making no sense, he feels. So that is one of the reasons where he gets frustrated. And uh, when she doesn't make any logical when she doesn't make any sense in certain things she says, she's just expressing her feelings on certain things, and he feels like, what is the outcome of all this? What are you trying to say? How can I help you in this? I'm feeling sad. Or for example, I said, my aunt is sick, she's getting sicker and sicker, and I don't know what to do. So he's like, no, what can I do about this? How can I find a solution for it? Now if he suggests, okay, why don't you spend some time with her and come, and she might say, no, I have this work, I have kids. So he's like, so what are you trying to say? So it frustrates him when she starts talking things like he feels like it's not being logical. Then for him, if his solutions are not benefiting her, he feels frustrated. She expresses one another, and then he listens to one problem, two problems, whatever she's saying, not be problem or anything. For him, it is problem. For her, for him, he looks at it like her problem. So she says one problem, another problem, and then he tries to give a solution for it, thinking that it will make her feel better. Now, to her surprise, she doesn't stop there. She goes on talking about something else. So he feels that she is not accepted my advice. So she thinks that my advices are no use.
He feels worthless.
Yeah, your opinions is not no worth. So he feels unappreciated or unaccepted for not valued enough. So that makes him feel hurtful, and so he stops listening to her anymore. He doesn't want to listen to her anymore because his solutions are not being considered. And he's not able to make her happy by giving her solutions. She's supposed to feel better, but she's not feeling better. She's again no going more and more about it. So that frustrates him, and so he doesn't want to listen to her anymore. And uh, as women feel fulfillment in going about the details and expressing things, men find fulfillment in finding solutions for those intricate things. They find fulfillment in it. Women actually can help a man by telling him in advance, please listen, you are not the problem here. I just want to just let out whatever happened. I had a very stressful day. Just can you please give a listening ear? So you are actually helping him. He doesn't have to all of a sudden feel like, okay, so she's expressing, let me fix it. He doesn't have to feel, okay, she's trying to say something. All that I have to do is let me listen. So women will actually help their men when they tell, please give me a listening ear. We don't want advice. Just listen to me. And uh, what happens is women actually enjoy building up suspense. So she goes on this detail to that detail and then the next detail, and she actually enjoys the entire process. For man, it is frustrating because the more detail she says, the more now he needs to put his head into finding solution for it. So man needs to understand that that is how she is. By her expressing, like you said, by when she expresses herself out, she actually is trying to find a solution simultaneously. So as she talks, she's thinking simultaneously. So by him just listening to her, is he is actually helping her calm down and de-stress herself. He doesn't have to even advise her anything. Just by give a listening ear, you are actually helping your wife to de-stress. So that is one thing. And rather than building up that women rather than building up the suspense and going about in details, if you want to express really out something, or if you're mad at something, or if you're hurt by something, or if you've had a busy day or anything, just make sure that you try to keep it very precise, not go in details. Or if you really want to go into details, prepare him in advance and tell him what is the end of the story. This is what is coming your way, be prepared, don't take it personally, just give a listening ear. That would help him not get his head worked up on finding solutions for her, and so they can come to terms. She's also happy, he's also happy. When men go into their shells, how will women perceive this, or how will women react to this when men go into their shells?
If we remember, he's basically not talking anything. So she has no idea what is going in his mind. And we also seen in the previous session, women are generally intuitive, and they are very much anticipating. So she knows that something is wrong with him. There is something wrong, and she has to address it. So what happens is when he comes home, totally like, isolating himself,
Hmm.
she would feel that there is something that she has to do now. So she starts asking him questions.
Hmm.
You have some, you're, there's something wrong, right? Then talk about it.
Hmm.
So it is like she is expecting a man to talk about the problems just the way she talks about the problems.
Hmm.
So in the very earlier sessions we spoke, usually the most of the misunderstandings and the arguments happen because this the opposite sex expects uh, the other person to behave the way they are behaving,
Hmm. Hmm.
their natural instincts,
Hmm.
which is not the case. He is not wired that way.
Hmm.
So she's expecting him to talk, which is not wired that way,
Hmm.
right? So it is as similar as saying, when she is upset,
Hmm.
and she asking her to calm down, or when she's overwhelmed,
Hmm.
asking her to calm down,
Hmm.
right,
Hmm.
and make some sense.
Hmm.
It's a mistake from a woman's end, for a man to be in that loving feeling, giving responses, and to talk to her in a nice way when he's really stressed out. It is like saying, when she's overwhelmed, to make logical sense and not to show tantrums, right?
Hmm.
So it's not going to happen.
Hmm.
So he's going to isolate himself. So what happens is, when he is in that zone, she feels, when she's asking him questions, she feels neglected
Hmm.
and unimportant. So
Hmm.
what happens is, she's trying to uh, uh, get the information out of him, and he's totally unwinding,
Hmm.
right? She knows something is wrong, and all the problems are happening. He comes home, and he starts watching TV.
Hmm.
So she will get annoyed. There is something wrong. I can sense it. And TV is more important for him rather than talking.
Hmm.
It's really hard for her to grasp things.
Hmm.
Okay,
Hmm.
that is not happening at her end,
Hmm.
right? This is, as you mentioned, that it's rude,
Hmm.
right? So what happens is, he is giving her that kind of information, and she needs
Hmm.
to understand that he's he is watching TV, as you mentioned, or doing some other thing.
Hmm.
Might be exercising also, you mentioned like
Hmm.
this. So to come out of, to forget his problems.
Hmm.
So what is happening is, man will not realize that he is giving these wrong informations to her,
Hmm.
which is actually not the case.
Hmm.
So what happens is, the five mistakes I could say, that she says, you don't listen.
Hmm.
So he says, what am I doing?
Hmm.
Okay, I'm listening to you. Okay,
Hmm.
you ask me what you said, I'll tell.
Hmm. You
So
want to know the details of what you're
yeah,
saying?
you
Yeah.
want to
Hmm.
know the details, I'll say. So he'll be 5% mind there,
Hmm.
so 95% he'll be elsewhere.
Hmm.
So in that 5% he'll be able to record and play. What she is actually trying to say is that you are not giving full attention to me,
Hmm. Undiverted attention.
undiverted attention,
Hmm.
which is very much hard for him to give when he is stressed out.
Stressed out. Hmm.
Okay, he is not be in that loving emotions. She can be,
Hmm.
she can, when even under stress, she can be still loving and caring towards
Hmm.
him, but he cannot.
Hmm.
So then again, if she's like, you are not, I feel like you are not even there.
Hmm.
It's like, can't you see my body, I'm here.
Yeah.
So she's again trying to say that you're
Hmm.
not giving me undivided attention. You are
Hmm.
physically present, mentally you're somewhere else.
Hmm.
You don't care about me at all, you care about something else.
Hmm.
So he thinks that, see, the problem, the solution that I'm trying to find for your problem will benefit you,
Hmm.
and you're not making any sense here. So
Hmm.
you're talking about some other problem
Hmm.
which is nowhere, important.
Hmm.
So telling her that her problem is not important,
Hmm.
she will definitely take it as personal. It's a big problem for her,
Hmm.
right? She will take
Hmm.
personally. So what happens is, then she says, you have no feelings,
Hmm.
you are in your head.
Hmm.
So he said, so it would, he will think like, then how else I will solve this problem if I am not in my head.
Yeah.
So basically she's trying to say that, you know, you don't have feelings at all, you're not listening at all,
Mm.
you're trying to give me the solutions.
Mm.
So women can quickly go from being warm to totally unresponsive
Mm.
and cold, as you
Mm.
mentioned. So, so what message he's trying to give to her is basically that you're
What
you're
she
unimportant. She's
feels.
feeling is that you're unimportant, and
My problems are important right now.
my problems are important. Then I'm neglecting.
That's how she feels.
Yeah. So she feels neglected and unimportant.
Mm.
So that is how she starts pestering him, and she feels like now it is, she starts behaving in a demanding
Demanding
way.
way
It is my right now
to know.
to know certain things. When
Mm.
she starts exercising, when he is not willing to give,
Mm.
conflicts happen.
Mm.
So so yeah, this is pretty much the
Mm.
thing with I think what happens at the
It's
women's world.
true. It's true.
What do you think women's takeaway in this?
3, 4 points, I would say.
Hmm.
Very easy. That is when a man goes to his shell, or he finds that his her man is cut off, switched off, doesn't
Hmm.
want to talk, he's not in the mood to talk,
Hmm.
and he's lost in his thoughts.
Hmm.
It doesn't mean that he loves her less.
Hmm.
It
Hmm.
only means that it is the time that he deserves to be alone,
Hmm.
because he's wired that way.
Hmm.
Don't expect him to open up to you.
Hmm.
He's not wired that way.
Hmm.
Because, like we saw, he is more of solving my problems, let me solve.
Hmm.
I don't have to tell you. If I have to tell you, it is I'm saying that I'm not capable enough to handle my problems, that I need your help now.
Hmm.
That is how he will feel.
Hmm.
So if he is not talking, it doesn't mean that he doesn't love her.
Hmm.
It only means that he's just dealing with the problem the way any man will deal with
Hmm.
his problem.
Hmm.
Now, while she is expressing, she feels like he was present some time back. He was saying, and then all of a sudden he's lost in thoughts.
Hmm.
During that times, she can politely uh, uh, ask him whether he is willing to listen, or should she stop, or just take a pause and let him realize that you have stopped talking
Hmm.
and you're not being polite enough to listen to me.
Hmm.
You're lost in thoughts.
Hmm.
Not like, okay, you're lost in thoughts. So what do you think? You don't care. Like how you said these things, right? I'm expressing and you don't care. I'm talking and you're lost in thoughts. Rather than feeling like that, uh, maybe wait for another time
Hmm.
when he'll be completely back and he'll be able to give you a listening ear. Then you can tell all the details you want to. And before you do that, prepare him in advance. Tell him, let it out.
Hmm.
You just give me a listening ear. I'm
Hmm.
not blaming you.
Hmm.
I'm just really worked up in my head. I'm really worried, or I'm really tensed. Just give me a listening ear. I'll be greatly appreciative of it. And then you tell. So, in that way, you're preparing a man to listen, and not to get frustrated and stop you in between. So he's like, okay, so all that I have to do is listen to you, and she will deal with this later. She wants to listen to she wants me to listen to her. Okay, let me listen. So without you telling or preparing him in advance, if you start doing it, he will definitely get frustrated. That is one. And one more thing is, uh, you can actually, this is very mysterious for women to understand, very difficult for women to understand, because for women, if she is not listening to another woman when she is expressing, she is being very rude to her.
Hmm.
So if she's expressing, I'm not giving a listening ear to you.
Hmm.
Or if you're expressing, or if you want to say something, or if you are sad, I'm being happy.
Hmm.
If you're worried about something, I'm going about going about the day.
Yeah.
So for a woman, when another woman is going through this and she not being available there, is very rude to her.
Hmm.
So, but the women need to understand that he is not a woman, he's a man. completely wired different way, and deals with stress in a very different way. So you can actually help your husband to come out from that stress by not going and bothering him. Tell me what happened. Tell me what's bothering you. You're not sharing anything with me. You don't love me. Please stop doing that to him.
You're not trusting me enough.
You're not trusting me enough with your problems.
Yeah, because at their end, sharing is trusting.
Sharing is trust, and they build bonds with each other. So if a woman is not doing this instinctively as a woman, so she's being rude to her husband. So it is very difficult for women to understand when I say this. Let him alone. Give him that alone time that he really needs to de-stress himself. And instead of that, go about doing any other work that will make you happy. Go about doing your chores, go to work, be happy, spend time with children, spend time with family and friends, cook food, or do something that makes you happy, like sing, paint, stitch, cook, play an instrument. Just be happy around him, because by doing so, you're actually helping him come out of his shell way faster. Because if he is not able to find solution for it, he feels stuck. So by looking at a very happy outside environment, outside his shell, he feels like, why am I dwelling here? Let me just get out of this.
Yeah, because he wants to forget his problems.
He forgets his problems.
So then,
so when she is happy around him,
she's lightening his mood.
She's actually lightening his mood. And trust me, he wants her asking him and she being worried about his problem is the last thing he wants, because you're adding up to his problem. Actually, now he needs to find a solution to keep you happy now. So that is the last thing he wants to do. So going about your work and being happy and keeping that entire environment
he is
happy.
like he has a lot of problems, and again this one more problem I had to handle.
Yeah, exactly. So that is what you can help him actually, you can help your husband actually come out of it, as rude as it might sound for women to do, but that is exactly what will help him. Because in I think in man's world, how we discussed before, they like to solve the problem, and once they have done that, they will eventually come out. So you are, by being very happy around him, you're actually helping him come out
And
faster.
one more thing, you're sending a message that I trust you. I trust you more, that you can resolve your matters.
You don't need me here.
You don't need me here.
Yeah.
So it is much appreciated.
Much appreciated for a man. So you're making him feel like, I know, I trust you. You can handle your problems on your own. You don't need me. Yeah. So that he will feel, he'll be able to come back very fast. That trust. What do you think is the takeaway for men?
For men, I think in the first, the third session, so we said, we gave them a homework to listen, right? To listen. So when, as you mentioned, when a woman gets overwhelmed when she's talking about the problems, men should realize that she's not blaming. She's not blaming at all. She's trying to express her feelings out, which pretty much all the men will feel that they are responsible for the problem, and they take it personally, and they start giving the unsolicited no, so they start giving, they start either defending themselves, and they start giving her the solutions also. Right. So when she's upset, she's stuck in a traffic, as we mentioned before, then I say you should get up early and go. Right. So these are not the things that he's supposed to say, but just assume that, they have to relax and say that she's not blaming me. They have to tell themselves that she's not blaming me. And the second thing is, he has to understand that once she has expressed things out, she will feel better. And the one more important point men should realize is that when she's talking about the problems, all the problems she's talking about without any logic, she's like touching all the points, she's able to realize the actual solution. She's processing her problem, she's finding this solution, and she exactly knows what to do.
So because after letting it out, when she de-stresses herself, she's in a better mindset to see what the actual problem is and to
Yeah.
find a solution for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when it is happening, when he's giving her a listening here, she's actually helping her to find a way out.
Yeah.
Rather than him coming as a hero and giving that solution, helping her navigate to the solution is much more appreciable at her end,
Yes.
rather than him giving a solution. So, when he has to realize that, when she is talking about, when she is upset and talking about the problems, even if it seems it is blaming, he's totally to be blamed, just wait for some more minutes.
Yeah, she will change.
She will change. Okay, all the blame is gone. She talks about other problems and other problems. She finds herself good,
Victimized, anything,
victimize,
anything.
anything. Just give her a listening ear. She feel good, and things will change.
Like she'll actually bond with you better.
Yeah. So then again, it is a healing factor for her. You are actually healing her when she speaks. So it's very much important for her to let things out. And at the same time, when he is stressed out, right, he has to give her the assurance that, yeah, I know I'm currently going through something. I need some time alone. I'll come back. It has nothing to do with you or any of the other things that is happening.
This is exactly when both of them are.
Yeah, both of
she
them are
needs
under
to talk
stress.
and he needs his time.
His time. So
This is like that's crucial moments
yeah,
in big
so
arguments.
he
when,
has to
yeah.
assure her that I'm going to come back. Wait, please wait. So I need some time. So she has to be
Patient enough.
patient enough. She has to aware that his alone time is as much as important her expressing things out. So I think this is pretty much what I think men can take from the sessions, that they have to listen. Don't take it as if, don't take it personally and literally. Don't try to find a logic, and don't take it as if she's blaming him, and just helping her find a way out herself, by making her realize, talking about her problems.
I would like to add two more things to it. One is, while men are listening to women, they would also, it would be really
Yeah.
nice
Yeah.
when he also says like, I know you're working really hard.
Yeah.
I know you had a very stressful day.
Yeah.
I appreciate that you've been taking care of kids.
Yeah.
I appreciate that you've been handling the entire house on your own. Or I appreciate that you're trying to balance both work and home.
Yeah.
Things like this will go a long way, and you will
Yeah.
help her de-stress faster and help her, motivate emotionally.
Yeah.
One. Second is, between husband and wife, when you both have clashes, by letting husband specifically, by letting her express things out, you're actually keeping the matter within the family, between yourself. Because at the end of the day, she's a woman and she will want to let it out somewhere. If not with you, she will definitely go to her relatives or her friends whom she trusts, who she will feel like, okay, this person will listen to me. And all this problem which you both could have easily solved, very silly things which just blew into an argument, will be taken to somewhere else. Same way, when women, you don't give that space to men and allow them to themselves come to you for advice, they will definitely go ask for advice elsewhere. So you be the person that he finds confidence in, that he will always come back. I know, I trust her. She will give me right advice, and she will not nag me. She'll not sit at my head and keep nagging me and asking me questions. I can trust her. She's a very mature woman. That feeling, even she should have.
Yeah.
He should feel from her.
And one more thing I would like to add to men is that, sometimes listening helps them also. They want to forget their problems. They resort to all the other things. Actually, listening to her will also give them the same effect. Okay, this will help them to distract themselves from the actual problems they're facing, and listen to her calmly, and her being improved in her feelings is actually giving them the same feeling or same result as they were finding it elsewhere, with the sport, exercise, and that thing also, and they're improving their relationship with the spouse as well.
Yeah.
So anything else to be added?
No, I think pretty much that's it.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything more to be added to
Yeah.
this.
So at this point, we thank for all of you for joining, and hope the previous session and this session was very much helpful in understanding your partner. We are coming up with much more videos. Your feedbacks and your comments will all is much appreciated, as it helps us to help us grow. Is if at all any improvements are to be made, please feel free to express towards us. And if any questions are there, as far as we know, we'd like to express answer those questions as well. If at all we do not have the answers, we'll get some experts to get the answers
Yeah.
for you.
And
um
please do attend as couple. We would suggest
yeah.
that you would attend as a couple, because we are addressing both women and for men simultaneously. So if you both could attend this, it will be beneficial for both of you to navigate through together. You don't have to do it alone. Just in case, if you're doing it alone, no problem. Uh, with trusting and praying to God that God will help your spouse, whether it's your husband or your wife, to attend this session so that you both can work together towards it, would help. And why I would say let God intervene is because what happens is when a woman tries to say, please come and join, a man will feel very offensive. He feels like, oh, she wants to improve me. We have talked about
Yeah.
this. He doesn't want to be improved. So he you're actually, women, wives are actually pushing the husbands away. So in that way, I would say the Bible says, women, by your chaste and respectful behavior, you will win over your husbands. So you working out on your part, and let him see your responses, and God deal with him, so that he will be curious to know as to why is these changes, and he let him join. So it's better. And if wives are not there and you husbands alone are attending, then as the Bible says, like Christ loved the church, you love your wives and be patient with her, and because she doesn't know that you are putting an effort. If you try to call her, she will feel like, more than you listening to me, you want to improve me now. So you feel like I have a problem and you want to fix me, and you're not accepting me. That's how she will feel, and so you're actually pushing her away. So by you giving that listening ear, you appreciating her, you validating her emotions, she will feel like, okay, my husband is changing in something, or maybe because he's listening to something or he's doing something right. So she'll be more interested, and when you ask her to join, she'll be very happy to do so. So in those cases.
And also would like to apologize for the video quality of the previous session. We are trying to improve, we are trying to bring you much more better videos and the video quality, and we are working on it. And thank you for being patient with us, and thank you for appreciating our efforts. Hope to see you in the next session.
Next.
Thank you so much, thank you so much for joining.